Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Emily. I'm a mom who loves home decor, thrifting, and a good DIY project. Today we are doing some MCGEE Co thrifted home decor dupes. I have recently discovered MCGEE Company. I don't know if I'm like way behind. I'm clearly way behind. They have like a line at Target and they have a YouTube channel. That's actually, I stumbled across their YouTube. I am like in love with all the everything that they are, and it has really been inspiring me to kind of switch up some things in my home. I headed to their site and found 3 things that I am going to create dupes for, or basically recreate from thrifted items. The goal, of course, is to do this affordably. Some things on their website are fairly affordable, others not so much. But before we really jump into things, if you're not already, feel free to follow me on Instagram at EmilyFace22. Let's jump right on into things. The first item we are going to see if we can recreate is this whitewashed wooden bowl that I came across. I loved the look of it. It's super rustic. So when I went to the thrift store, I came across this wooden bowl, and throughout the years, I've actually seen a handful of wooden bowls, so I feel like there's a chance you guys might be able to find one too. When I saw this, I had to grab it. It was clearly not the right color, although it had the general idea of a wooden bowl. So I figured, okay, I can work with this. Let me share with you guys what I did. I have my bowl, and I'm actually just going to use an electric sander. Any little curves that don't get sanded, I'll hand sand. Here is how the bowl is looking. Now we are going to give it a whitewash. To whitewash it, I am using some water, and then this is honestly just dollar store paint. It's acrylic paint. This is white and a cream. I'm going to mix equal parts into the water and apply it with a paintbrush. Are you guys ready to see how this wooden bowl dupe turned out? Here it is. For project number 2, I found these linen covered books on their site. I've actually seen this trend on Instagram quite a bit. I've seen a handful of different accounts do like linen covered books and style them on shelves. And so it's been a long time that I've wanted to do something like this. And then when I found it on MCGEE Co's site, I thought, yes, I will do it. I found this 100% cotton curtain, and I know it's not linen, but linen is really expensive, and the goal was to do this on a budget and not actually spend more than the books would cost. So I grabbed this 100% cotton curtain. I thought it was a really nice color, and I liked the texture of cotton, so I felt like it had the same idea. Obviously, if you guys already have scrap linen at home, then great, you use your scrap linen. And then instead of thrifting books, we actually don't own that many books. We've gotten rid of a lot of books over the years, so I didn't have any that I just wanted to use. So I actually went to the dollar store to grab books, because you might have caught on to this, but maybe just because the area we live in, but our thrift stores are really, really expensive. So it was cheaper for me to buy dollar store books than it was to thrift books. I headed to my dollar store and picked up 3 novels to use. These were the ones that I grabbed. Now, let me show you guys the process of covering these books. books because it turned out to be a little bit more difficult than I imagined. The first thing to do is remove all of the book covers. Now we are going to take our fabric. I love that I have so much of this so I can use it in the future if I want to cover more books. Now I'm going to open up my book and trace around it, giving like an extra 1.5 inches all the way around. Then cut out your shape. Now we're going to use Mod Podge because this is what I had on hand. I've also seen people use adhesive spray, but I'm going to try my Mod Podge. I'm going to Mod Podge on a good portion of the fabric. Then I'm gonna Mod Podge the cover as well. To cut the corners to be able to fold it nicely. Wrapping my third book. I wanted to mention a few things that I have quickly learned, and one is that I should have just bought 3 white covered books, but my other 2 were blue. So if I could go back and buy all white covers, I don't know why I didn't do that, but that would have been smart and saved myself trouble. So anyways, if you can, pick up white covered books like from the dollar store or wherever. On the first book, I Mod Podged on the fabric and on the book, and this is how it is looking. I just definitely had too much glue, and the blue is definitely showing through, but I didn't really do that on this one. I mostly just Mod Podged on the book. So if you can, get light colored books and also only Mod Podge to the book and not to the fabric. I did end up needing to do 2 layers of fabric around each book because it was thinner. Again, I think if I did this all over again, I would pick 3 books that are the same color, preferably white, but that way even the tones of the book would all be the same with the double cover. Anyways, so do yourself a favor if you find 3 books that are kind of the similar colors. If you find thicker fabric, then sure. But if not, hey, you can double cover them like I did. It's just a smidge extra work, but honestly, it wasn't that at all. Are you ready to see how they turned out? Here they are. For my third and final project, I saved the best for last, you guys. I came across this black aged vase or pot on MCGEE Co's website, and actually I have been seeing these everywhere. Like, I've been coming across them on Pinterest and Instagram, and I have been wanting to add, I know, my neutral house, I've been wanting to add some, like a pop of black through like a vase or something like that. I have to shout out Jackie Daly on Instagram. This DIY method that I'm going to do was fully, like, I'm pretty sure it originated with her. This is like her idea. I have seen it replicated a handful of times. I found this cookie jar at the thrift store. I was really hoping to find like the perfect shaped pot with a little bit of texture and grit and like, yeah, but no, that didn't happen. But what I did find was this cookie jar. And honestly, the shape was perfect. I was like, okay, this is great. But it had an indent around it like that went around this heart, and the indent had to go. Let me share how I created this aged pot dupe. I am going to use this Dry Deck spackling and try and fill in a little bit of this rivet to make, I don't know, try and make it smooth, I guess. And I might add just a little texture to the vase as well. I'm going to just use this like old gift card and kind of like scrape it on. This groove is like semi-filled in, I'm going to go around and just add a little bit of texture to the rest of the vase. Here's how it's looking. I'm going to take this little sander brush and just brush down any of the really rough spots. I'm going to repeat the process. Spackle is dry. It is the next morning, and I'm going to be using some spray paint. Now, the brand I've seen used a lot, it's like a Rust-Oleum in matte black. Apparently they were out, so this is what I got. It's matte black. It's actually for metal, but I'm gonna use it anyways. I'm just gonna do 1 or 2 coats and let it dry in between. It's all spray painted. I'm going to give it a few minutes to just fully finish drying, and then we're going to move on to some mud making. While the pot is drying, I have a little sand toy bucket, and we are going to add a little water. Basically, we are just making some mud.
Some dirt.
Yeah. So we've got, you guys see?
Some handy dandy mud.
We've got some mud. Now we have our pot, our mud, and we get to put the mud on the pot. Completely dry. Well, I guess you could see right here this part isn't dry, but like the rest is dry. What you do is take a rag and we're just gonna start like wiping it off. And you can wipe as much or as little off as you want. Are you ready to see how this turned out? Here it is! I say this all the time, but I am so happy with how everything turned out. This, I think, is my favorite thrift flip type of video for home decor that I have ever done. I genuinely love each item so much. Like, I feel like they look really expensive, and they turned out great. I hope that you guys can actually recreate these. You can recreate that black aged look on like lamp bases, on different type of pots and vases. So there's so many options. And also, I'm sure you guys could find a wooden bowl at the thrift store, and I know that you'll be able to find some books and cover them with fabric. Let me know down below which project was your favorite. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked today's video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. As always, you guys can subscribe for more of my everyday life. Follow me on Instagram at EmilyFaith22. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye!